look forward to see what the world has to say, as the buzz hits a peak on the Peacemaker. We're less than a week away from this thing. I'm really excited to hear other people's thoughts of what they think about the individual character arcs. The final moments of his journey in Jotunheim are so very interesting and filled with so much. There's more than enough material there to go on a character journey, and it's just about which direction you want to go and what things you want to explore. I think the good thing is there is material there. We don't get a lot of details about Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad, which leaves a whole lot on the table and leaves a whole lot for exploration and with the ability to choose. So I think it set us up pretty nice to make the series, and certainly James thought the same because he wrote it rather quickly as well.
It was a scene with him and Ratcatcher that there was a moment which I shot first. I shot that first. And there's a moment there where he is about to kill her, and we see something in his eyes that is incredible sadness and regret. I don't even know if Peacemaker was going to kill her in that moment, but that moment and seeing that moment in John made me go, there's much more to this actor than I knew. And we know he's a great comedian. We saw him in Trainwreck, we saw him in Blockers, we saw him in Squad, but he is also an incredibly talented dramatic actor. And I knew there was a vulnerability to John Cena that I would be able to help carve out and present to the world. And that was part of the driving force of telling the story, for sure.
There wasn't much introduced about Harcourt in the Suicide Squad. I think if I can answer your question the best, I'd say I was really excited to explore getting to work with Steve Agee again as John Economos, because Steve Agee is so much fun and he's such a goofball, and he adds so much to the work. He's a guy who's always got a camera in his hand, and he's oftentimes filming you while you're doing a scene. He's off behind camera, like got his phone out filming you, and he finds a way to make things less serious. So I had a great time working with him again.
King Shark was very, very difficult to get right. And then went through a lot of different iterations, but Eagly is an eagle. We went to Weta, who did most of King Shark, or a lot of King Shark, and Guy Williams, who I've worked with on Guardians 2 and on Suicide Squad, and now on Guardians 3. And we did, but they already had an eagle, so we started there and then built our own eagle out of that.
When he first told me about it, I had no idea what he was talking about. He told me about some sort of dance where everyone was going to be very stoic and kind of robotic. And I was like, cool, this is another one of those James Gunn things that you're just going to have to see it, because I had no clue what he was talking about. But if you know James and you like his work, then you probably will he tells you to jump and you're going to say how high. So I was really stoked to take it on.
Man, he found a way to get people not to hit the skip intro button. That's like a feat in modern entertainment engineering. This series is written well enough for every person you see on screen. I'd say with the exception of Augie, Peacemaker's dad, to go through a character arc and a journey. And I look forward to see what the world has to say, as the buzz hits a peak on the Peacemaker. We're less than a week away from this thing. I'm really excited to hear other people's thoughts of what they think about the individual character arcs.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. I think I'm just going to collapse for a while after Guardians 3. I'm getting pretty worn out, and I've been going pretty hardcore for the past few years. So we'll have to see what's next. But I want to do Peacemaker season 2. So, see what happens.
Eat peace, mother.